Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony, and welcome to another edition of B&A Sports Talk. So yesterday I did a video about NFL news, and guess what we're doing today? A video about the NBA. I want to talk about the Raptors. No, just kidding. We're doing another video about NFL news. It's kind of a slow news week. Has been a little bit slow news for the past couple weeks. But now news is starting to ramp up. You had Carson Wentz. You have a mini camp now. Things are starting to come out with how teams are doing. You have the Trent Williams drama. I want to comment a little about the Trent Williams drama. There's like the GM now that's saying, oh, there's something that I know that nobody else knows, and there's something like that. It just shows the Redskins' dysfunction. They're never going to be a good team. They're just going to be mediocre. And that's just about it. They, as much as they want to try to be the class of this division, I don't think they'll ever be. They'll always be second fiddle to the Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants. They'll always be second fiddle. And, yeah, that's just the way it's going to work. As far as their quarterback situation, I don't really care. I think that their problems are more structured up top. Their problems are more up top than down bottom. It shows. If there are players coming out and saying different things about your team, it's definitely not a good look. You need to get rid of all those players. I think it starts with a new head coach. Who is that new head coach? I think the Redskins should really try to target Mike McCarthy. I think this will bring a veteran kind of leadership and mindset to this team. I think Mike McCarthy, after he's going to take a year off, even though he really didn't want to take a year off, but he's going to end up taking a year off, and I think that's going to, if the Redskins can find a way to hire Mike McCarthy, that'd be great. I think that'd be a good story for the Redskins. Next, I want to talk about Tyreek Hill and how the criminal case has dropped, but he's not done yet. I don't think this is done yet. There's going to be probably something that comes out, and the NFL is going to want to put their foot down. Now, with punishment, the NFL really struggles with this. And why do I think the NFL struggles with this? Times are changing, and Roger Goodell, he's the type of guy who is non-confrontational. He's the type of guy who doesn't know the way he should think. He's a little bit insecure with himself. I think, the commissioner, he's a white commissioner in a league with a lot of black players. Now, what does this mean? It's kind of uneasy because I think in the back of his mind he's thinking, well, I have to come down hard, but not too hard. I have to try to be fair, and he kind of overthinks things. Hey, if you're Roger Goodell, give him a 6 to 8 game suspension, whatever the minimum is for domestic violence, and call it a day. He messed up the thing with Ray Rice. I think he messed up the thing with Tom Brady. He messed up a lot of things in the past. Now you have to have a consistent message. If things come out and you don't represent our league in a good way, you're going to get suspended. This is not like the free market. This is a private business. And yeah, things mess up with Colin Kaepernick. He messed up with Ed Reed. I think if he can just settle down, give Tyreek Hill a suspension, and this will all be good, and you can lay it to rest and everything. And now you can make the case he wasn't charged with anything, but that video is a really bad look for the NFL. It really is. And just from that, I would say just suspend him for 4 to 6, 8 games, a little bit too much for the Chiefs, and call it a day. Next, I want to talk about the QB battle with Josh Rosen and Fitzpatrick. Now, Fitzpatrick, he scored like a 48 on the Wonderlic test. Josh Rosen was about average on the Wonderlic test, if I remember correctly. I think that Fitzpatrick has a legitimate shot to win this quarterback starting job. We have Jameis Winston in Tampa Bay. Jameis Winston had the job because he was the franchise quarterback. The Dolphins are not beholden to Josh Rosen. They traded a second-round pick for him, and a second and a fifth, I think, or whatever it ended up being for Josh Rosen. They're not beholden to him. They didn't pick him 13th overall. He's just a stoppage quarterback. Now I'm looking at their coach, Brian Flores. What is his mindset? Well, he's coming back from the Belichick, regime. He's used to old quarterbacks who are smart, who make the right plays, and I think that Josh Rosen and Fitzpatrick have both of these qualities, but mostly Fitzpatrick. He's more of a cerebral guy who knows his limitations with his arm and different things like that. Josh Rosen still has a lot to prove, and I think that he's going to make it a QB battle, and I think it would almost be better off if Fitzpatrick won this job and then Josh Rosen won it back after Fitzpatrick has a little magic and, he ends up falling apart again a little bit. The thing I want to mention about Ryan Fitzpatrick is that he's not a spring chicken anymore. He's getting pretty old, and I think his skills are going to start to diminish. But Josh Rosen, remember, he doesn't have a lot of experience on the field. He's had a lot of bad experience, and I think it would be a smart decision for Brian Flores to not throw him to the wolves again. You know, you have an offensive line that needs help. You have a defense that's not that good. You don't have a lot of weapons. I would say Fitzpatrick should take the helm right now and just sit Josh Rosen, and when you're forced to play Josh Rosen, play him, and Josh will be ecstatic, and Josh will feel like, I think he'll have less of pressure on him, because he knows Ryan Fitzpatrick wasn't good enough. This organization trusts me and things like that. If he starts off right off the bat, he's going to have Ryan Fitzpatrick breathing right down his neck, and there's going to be pressure. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him to start right away, and this team is not quite ready yet. This team is not ready to play Josh Rosen, and I think it's the better option to just rest Josh Rosen and have him learn the scheme, so when he does play, he's more confident, because that's the type of quarterback he is. He's the type of guy to sit back and learn, and I think that this will work out better for him, especially learning under Ryan Fitzpatrick, who is a master, and he's a master journeyman, and Josh Rosen may be down that path, but I think Josh Rosen is a future quarterback of the Dolphins, just not in the beginning, and I think Fitzpatrick, especially with his abilities, he's going to be able to win this starting job. Next, I want to mention Kyler Murray, because Larry Fitzgerald mentioned, Kyler Murray is really smart. He knows all the things, and he knows his offense really well. Now, what I gather from this is he's familiar with the offense. This is not Josh Rosen learning Cliff Kingsbury's scheme. This is exactly what Kyler Murray was playing. This is exactly what type of offense Kyler Murray is playing. Kyler Murray scored really low on this Wonderlic test. I know I keep on mentioning it in this video, but he's not that smart of a quarterback. He doesn't know the X's and O's. He can throw from the pocket, and that's the most confident thing. He can beat you with his arm, and his legs are secondary. As long as his arm is first and his legs are secondary, I think he's going to be successful in this league. And it's one thing for Larry Fitzgerald to come out and say, like, this guy is the quarterback of the future. And this team is really young. It's really you got rid of Bethea. You brought in Terrell Suggs in defense, but you brought in so many wide receivers and offensive linemen and new defensive pieces. I think Peterson, I'm not sure what he's doing. I'm not sure what his situation is. But the secondary on defense is pretty good. But it's a really, really young team, really low experience. And this team is going to have to just build up experience, learn from the bad things. And that's going to be really important for this team moving forward. I don't think they're going to win the division this year. I don't think they're making the playoffs this year. This year is a building year for them. And if they end up making the playoffs, then I'm wrong. I mean, come back to this video, come back to any one of my videos. But I firmly believe that the Cardinals are not going to make the playoffs. And so what wins in this league is experience. What wins in this league is knowing what the defense is going to bring to you and know how to option out of it. I think Kyler Murray knows his offense really well, and is just going to, when things go bad, it's going to be really bad. He's not going to know what to do. But if this offense, we don't know if this offense is going to work in the NFL yet. But if it does, it's great for them. And yeah, I'll be totally wrong. But for now, I think this air raid system, you're going to have a wild blowouts. You're going to have games that the Cardinals blow the other team out. Like a defense, a really young defense that doesn't have a lot of experience. But when they play against the Patriots, I think that they do this year actually. It's going to be, oh, wow, like, dang. The defense is going to throw things at you that you've never seen before, and we'll see if Kyler Murray can take it. This is a building year for him. Next, I want to mention a quick update for my Baker Mayfield prediction last year. Baker Mayfield prediction. What am I talking about? My Baker Mayfield opinion from yesterday. I firmly said that Baker Mayfield can make all these players work because he has the talent in the class. Now, Strong Opinion Sports made a podcast today, and he broke down his entire film analysis, and he pretty much agreed with me. He said, Baker Mayfield is not an elite quarterback, but then again, nobody is in their first year. He beat all these records, did certain things, but what he especially mentioned with Baker Mayfield is his arm is great. His playmaking ability is great. But he's like Brett Favre. He is sometimes wildly inaccurate, and he needs to be a little bit more consistent. He needs to learn how to live for another down, because not always in this league you're gonna have the play that is exactly for you. And sometimes you need to switch up the play. Sometimes you need to do different things. Now the Browns, they have a really young team. And this is a brand new offensive system with Freddie Kitchens, who is a little bit familiar with, so this shouldn't be that bad to begin with. But you're going to have a porous offensive line that's not going to give him time, and he's going to be outside the pocket trying to make these big plays. He mentioned Antonio Callaway was their deep threat last year, and he's being replaced pretty much with Odell this year. And Odell and him have similar, I think they're going to fit on the same page more than Eli Manning and Baker Mayfield, and Eli Manning and OBJ did. I think it's going to work. I think it's going to work. He just needs to feed Odell, and it's going to work because he's going to be outside a lot. He's going to be scrambling and trying to make plays. And Odell, he knows how to lead him. He knows how to make Odell strong. He knows how to get the most out of Odell, I believe. And we're going to see that a lot this year. So you're going to see, again, Colin Cowherd mentioned this. If you have Odell in your fantasy team, I'd pick him. The only question with Odell is, one, his mental sanity, and two, is he going to play? Is he going to be injured or not? Is he going to break his ankle again? What's going to happen? But if not, Odell is going to have so many yards this year. It's going to be tough. You have a lot of chefs in the kitchen for the Browns, but I think they're going to find a way to make it work. I just think they're a couple years away. They need experience under their belt, and teams like the Patriots would just dissect them so much defensively and offensively. And I don't think they're quite there on the tier. Being fourth favorite to win the Super Bowl with this level, this inexperience, I'm not sure. We've seen the Rams had it, but they had a brilliant offensive mind in Sean McVay. They had a quarterback in Jared Goff with a lot of weapons, and they had a really stout defense. I wouldn't compare the Rams to the Browns, and plus the Rams had a lot of luck to get there. So the Browns are going to need all the luck in the world to get there. And the final topic I want to mention today is, I know a lot of people were mentioning Dak Prescott. You're going to have to pay him. How much do you pay him? I say the Cowboys, I would wait. The Eagles are trying to play you like a violin. They're trying to be like, oh, pay Dak Prescott now. If you don't pay him, you don't want him. As far as stats go, Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott, you can argue either one has been better so far, but Dak Prescott has won more playoff games. Both have had similar rosters with defenses and different things like that. If you're Stephen Jones, because he's now the new pretty much GM of this team, you go, hey, Dak Prescott, we're going to pay you even bigger next year. Just wait for the money. We're going to roll up the Brinks truck for you. And, then you just go all in on Dak. You see how he does this year, and you decide. You go, Dak, this is your make or break year. Dak wants $30 million a year, and you go, hey, if you perform this year, and you give him a threshold. If you make the playoffs this year, we're going to give you $30 million. If we make the playoffs this year and we win 2 games, we're going to pay you a certain amount. We're going to say, but if you cannot lift us to the playoffs and our defense, we're only going to give you $25 million years, or we're going to let you walk. Because at that point, especially next year with the quarterback class that's really good, you're going to want to get a new quarterback. I know you could say Dak Prescott is pretty good with, the whole face of a franchise. He's a leader. He says all the right things. The GM loves him. But there are plenty of quarterbacks next year who are going to be just as good. And you're going to have to pay a lot of defensive players. So this is your prove-it year for Dak. If he's great, pay him $30 million a year. Go for it. But if he's not great, you say, hey, $25 million or you're walking. And another team will pick them up. The thing with a lot of quarterbacks when they leave is just like, you don't want them to play even better when they're gone. Even though they're not a good fit with you, if they leave and they're better, a lot of people are just going to look at it like, oh, yeah, you got rid of this really good guy. Even though he's a better fit in another team, you couldn't really make it work. But, yeah, so that's my opinion about Dak Prescott. I don't think there's a lot of pressure on the Cowboys. There shouldn't be. Don't let the Eagles play you like that. If I know the Dallas Cowboys probably are going to sign Dak Prescott now, but yeah, that's just my opinion on the whole thing. Yeah, but other than that, hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like rating. While you're down there, please comment, favorite, and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.